Hello, everybody. We are back from Coup Sur live on YouTube. You must know us because we made a promise in January, once show a month, and we lied because we are assholes. So we come back in April. But when I say we came back, it's because I'm not alone. That's my host, not my friend, just my co-worker, Guillaume. How are you, Guillaume?
Hello. Very nice to see you. Not to see you. Very nice that you see me. I'm very happy to be here with you, Mike. How are you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not happy to be here with you, but we are not alone because we have our producer, Thomas. Thomas, the Mouflette, is here. How are you, Thomas?
Hello.
Hello,
That's
Hi,
all
everyone.
That's all we can say in English. Hello. And thank you. And sometimes he mistakes it with fu, another word.
Okay.
Not okay. So Guillaume, we are not alone. We have a
No.
guest because if it was a show just be between you and me, it would be so sad. So we have a guest. Who is it?
We have a guest, and he speaks very good English, really better than us. It's not very difficult because we are crap. Last time we had an Austrian who spoke also bad English, but this time we have a real one with the tea and the hat and Pembroke and everything. No, I'm just joking. We have a friend that is a journalist, talks about baseball on MLB Europe, and he has a show. Maybe you have seen it on internet, and it's Max Whittle. Hello, Max. How are you?
How you doing, guys? I'm good. Can I just say, because I know I've got the mug of tea, very English, but it's an I love New York mug, but I don't like the Yankees. I'm just gonna tell
Oh,
everyone
thank
now.
you.
So everything's clear then, right? Everything's clear.
That was the first question. So, what is your team? Because I saw you. I mean, you have this show on internet where you play baseball with people who do other sports, but you never talk about you. What is your team? Do you have a team?
Hey, I like you, Guillem. You've already made me talk about myself. I never get to do that.
That's why you're here.
Yeah. Well, you guys told me before we came on that you're all not very nice to each other. So the compliments that go to the producer off camera, I've got to say, they're not that high. But I'm a Dodgers fan. So on our show that you've mentioned, Bases Covered, which is on MLB's YouTube channel, we typically don't talk about who we support or even players we like. It's a lot of fun. But we don't get too in depth into our stories about baseball and why we love it. But I'm a Dodgers fan, have been since 2004. I do have a soft spot for the Red Sox because I've lived there. It was my first ever trip to America when I was a little baby in Boston. So the Red Sox are my plan B. But for now, the Dodgers pay a lot of money to a lot of good players, so I'm happy.
Wait.
So-
I gotta
so-
stop. No. I gotta stop that conversation right now. You have what? A plan B? Do you say the same thing to your girlfriend? You choose one and you have a plan B? You can't have a plan B, man. You have
You
to
gotta
choose.
have 4 plans, but I've only got 2 at the moment.
Okay, don't tell your wife. Don't tell your wife that you have to have 4 plans.
Okay. So you started to dig into the interview right now, but I've got something to do before. It's gonna be free. It's an advertising, but Guillaume, we have to do it. Look at this. It's the one and only book made by this guy, Gaëtan Libert. It's a book about the story of baseball. It's
Is
in
he gonna,
French.
is he really gonna pay us?
No, because he
Yeah,
don't have any money. He's making a book about baseball. Nobody's gonna gonna buy it. So doesn't have any money. But because he's our friend, and it's because it's for the Yankees. He's a Yankees fan, so we gotta help him. He's got a hard
Yes,
life.
definitely.
hey, it's a tough run for the Yankees right now. 13 years without a win. But hey, nice book, nice looking book, and
Yeah.
he's already sold 1 copy, so that's good.
No, he gave it to me. No,
You didn't give him any money.
No. I bought mine, and we have one that we're gonna give it to the listeners of the show in France, obviously because it's French.
I was
So
gonna say,
now,
you said that I speak really good English. Does he have a version in English or not yet?
no, not
I
yet.
don't think so.
But if you want, you can just learn French and then translate it. You will be happy.
I
I
have an app, an application whose name is Google Translate.
Oh.
You have only
For a whole
400 pages.
400 pages. I think it's more than 400 words, though.
think. Yeah, definitely.
Let me see. Yes, it is. So let's go to the show, Max. First of all, thank you to
First
be here.
question. question. How do you say my name?
See, I heard the version on the call before and I don't remember. So if I'm reading that, I would say Guilhem.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Hey, that's nearly because it's William in English, so but it's Guillaume.
Guillaume.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good.
That's totally. If I don't say it, just reading it, you can now pronounce it. It's impossible. So I will ask every guest we have that do not speak French how to say my name, and then after I think we'll say a top 10 will be. We'll see if you are top number 1 or number 2. But Guillaume, no, it's not so funny. So
I like
maybe
the hat though. I like the beret. I love the
Hey.
beret. I don't think anyone's ever worn a Twins jersey and a beret together.
No, it's
I
not
love
because
that.
nobody does that. Nobody does that.
Yeah, because nobody likes.
There's no
the
reason
Twins.
to do that.
Nobody likes the beret, so.
Hey, Max Kepler. We love Max Kepler. He's close to France, right? Germany's close.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe sometimes a little bit too close, but that's another story.
It depends where. So, we can Guillaume. Our producer Thomas said us before that's a little off, an insider. He said you only can say 3 racist things during the whole live because we're gonna have trouble. So
I think that's 3 things too many, but
yeah, we have trouble with that. We don't like anybody, we don't like French people.
you don't like each other. Yeah,
No.
you don't like your guests, but it's fine. I'll stick around.
So, speaking about the guest, Max, we're gonna do something you will love. We're gonna talk about you. What's your story with the baseball, first of all, Max? I mean, we can tell you ours because you see, Guillaume wanted to play a real sport, but because he have a bad body, he couldn't do anything. And because he's really dumb, he can
wow.
learn. Yeah, no, yeah, you will.
That's a story.
Dumb and dumber. We are we are a duo. So he tried baseball, and of course he couldn't pitch, he couldn't catch, and he couldn't hit. So he became the first base.
Yeah.
DH or first base.
I was first base because I was young. Now I'm old, so now I'm DH or maybe on the bench.
Yeah.
So, but how did you come to baseball, Max?
So I've never been a designated hitter myself. I can't speak to that experience, but so I got into baseball. I remember I always tell this story, and it makes me sound like I had a really fancy upbringing, very like silver spoon, because I was in the Caribbean when I was 10, and I remember watching the TV with my dad every evening, and baseball was always on every night on the sports channels, and obviously they love it in that region as well. And the following year, I went to Boston. It was my first trip to the States, and we tried to get Red Sox tickets. And really, it was not me pushing that narrative. My family wanted to go and see the baseball. We couldn't get tickets. It was a sellout. But I vividly remember driving past the Green Monster. And finally, 2 years later, we were in America again, and we went to a Dodgers game, which is why I'm a Dodgers fan. So we went as a family, Dodgers versus Braves. It was 2004. So ever since then, I've kind of been hooked. And slowly but surely, baseball has been, even though I've covered all the American sports aside from ice hockey, baseball's been that constant. It's the one I've always loved the most. I've loved reading about it the most. I love watching it live the most. And it's actually allowed me to meet so many people. And now that I work on it as well, it's just, that's kind of like the journey so far.
But did you play baseball?
I did. I've always played cricket at school, like pretty good at throwing and catching. So I love playing catch with the mitt. I would say, like, playing competitively, you are not going to get me in the batter's box. I am not going to get in front of a 90-mile-an-hour pitch. I don't understand. Do you guys play?
We used to
play. We were even coaching. I mean, I mean, we were in a really bad team. You know, some guys didn't have any arm, other didn't have legs. Yeah, it was complicated. But we were we were here for fun. You can see it. Look, I don't know if you see it on the feed, but that's our whole team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we used to play really for fun at the regional level, really bad, but we stopped for personal reasons, and that's why we're here now.
That sounds that sounds
because we're too
mysterious.
fat. Because we are too fat. No.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I love about baseball, though. It's so inclusive. It doesn't matter what you look like, how big you are, how small you are. And
I'm really small. I'm really small.
Yeah, and I cannot walk between the first base and the and the second, so that's not for me
Guillaume,
anymore.
one time, I'm going to tell you, Guillaume, one time, he gets a hit, okay? And he gets to be out at first because he was injured running between home plate and first base.
Oh,
You
no.
remember that?
You pull, was it hamstring?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's old. So, you people who must don't know you in France, you are not just a baseball journalist. You do football and you do a lot of things. I think you work with Amazon.
Yeah, I couldn't make a living on just baseball. Sadly, I wish I could. I do lots of sports. I work in television for Sky Sports, Amazon Prime on social media. I do lots of event speaking as well. So, and recently, one of my dream jobs, I actually work for Aston Villa, who are my boyhood football club. So, lots of different things, like all presenting. Really, it's so much fun. But I would say that we started this series, Bases Covered, about 2 years ago during lockdown in 2020, and it's really been like it wasn't the start of my presenting career, but it was certainly played a massive role in developing me as a presenter and just learning the tricks of the trade. And there's been so many great opportunities through this series to meet people. You guys must know Chase Utley, the former Phillies player.
Mm-hmm.
He
on the first episode, he was with you.
Yeah, he was the first episode, and I cannot watch that episode back. It's so hard to watch. You know what it's like. You must go back on your podcast and listen to the first episode and like, what? I sound terrible. I look terrible. But it's just funny. Like, baseball brings you so much joy. And you guys were saying, like, you've had so many incredible guests, and I feel like everyone in baseball is just so friendly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have found. We exist for 2 years now.
2 years.
Just like you, it was during the pandemic that there was the luck. We couldn't do anything, so we started talk. We always talked about baseball, Mike and I, and so we decided that we needed to make other people just listen to us, because it was very important. We had nothing to say, so it was very
We're here
important.
to save baseball, Guillaume.
It was very important that everybody listened to just our crap. So we did it, and we because of this we have managed to meet so many people in French baseball, in European baseball. It was so great. And yeah, I'm very happy that we started this story together.
We broadcast the European Championship last year. It was in Senart in France, and
with Thomas. Thomas was the producer.
Thomas was the producer, and we said so much shit during the games. We made 56 hours of live
in 1 week. In 1 week, yeah.
3 games a day plus a talk show before, and it was crazy. We won't do that again.
French people.
Yeah, crazy French people. It was the first time.
It's nice to hear, because yesterday, obviously, when we're recording this, yesterday was opening day, and I went back to, there's a baseball bar in London called Home Run House, and it's where we actually filmed our 3rd series. And it's like it's a perfect studio. If you want to go to a baseball dream, it's just, there's batting cages, there's MLB branding all over the place, there's a bar and there's food. It's so cool. And last night I went to watch the Cubs Brewers game with a friend, and he brought a friend with him, and he told me that he got the other guy into baseball at university. They met at uni, And this guy just had no idea about baseball, had no interest in watching it. But Ben kept watching it all the time, especially after nights out because it's so late, right? He just started following it. And it's always nice to hear how people get into the sport because it usually isn't a typical story as it would be for us. You know, football, rugby, it's like your dad loves it, your family, you go down there every weekend. For baseball, you have to find it in your own way. That's what I love about it.
The story that I had when we made the French the European Cup, I had my mother that was, oh, you're on the internet and I'm going to follow, but she didn't know anything about baseball, and she know me for 40 years, but she wasn't interested in it at all. And because
Your mom knows you from 40 years. That's a great
yeah,
info.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know how she made it, and and then she started to follow our because we were just commentating, hosting the show, and she started to follow, and she wanted to understand. So then she was on the internet, and she was just checking, what is the rule and everything, and then she was sending me, I didn't understand the rule. Can you explain it? So I was on TV and I was explaining the rules, saying, okay, so this is the rule for my mother that just texted me, and now she understands and she can watch games. That's
we remember because we had it was a Czech team from Brno, and we had players coming to see us before and after the games when we were, I mean, and Guillaume was drinking beer and I was eating hot dogs. They were coming to us and they say, my daughter is looking at the game. She don't understand anything because we speak French, but you are so funny that she loves the podcast.
Perfect compliment. So it's not really about baseball. I would say as well, it's like that when you listen to it on radio. You don't need to love or understand the rules. It's just the sound of it. That's what I love about baseball on radio. When you hear the crack of the bat on the ball, and I would say that I've had mixed success, or I'd say actually not mixed results, only negative results when I take particularly girlfriends in the past to a baseball game. It hasn't gone well. I say take
that's funny.
No, just say it was the plane B or the plane A.
It was the plan Z, and it was Yankee Stadium, so probably that's why. Yeah.
So talking about the plans, we're gonna go the season, the 2022 season just begun. How are you gonna make leave us the season? What are you gonna propose us on the social media, on MLB Europe? What are you gonna do?
What are we doing? So this year is very different to the last two that we've had on Bases Covered, particularly. So to start with, 2020 lockdown. So we built a celebrity baseball team and we played a baseball game out of lockdown. Second series, we did a road trip, sadly on Zoom, not in real life. But we were able to educate people on cities and baseball stadiums and the teams. And then last year we did a home run derby competition between 7 guests in a studio. It was so much fun. We were in person again. We got to actually be together as a crew. And then penultimately, at the end of last year, which you've already mentioned, our last series was called Baseball Versus. It's essentially we got Olympians and professional sports people to play baseball, to play their sport in a baseball sense, and then we had to go up against them. So we've done so much already. This year is a little bit different. So baseball is coming back to Europe, as you guys know, which is great news. We're going to have games from next year, but this year there's a competition called Home Run Derby X, and we are filming a week in Germany to begin with. Myself and my co-host Jamel15, we're going to be doing some bits out there to lead up to the event on July the 9th, which is in Crystal Palace, which is South London. They're going to have former MLB players, rookies. They're going to have loads of softball players, and it's going to be a whole event, music, ballpark food, and that's where we will film the final episode for that series. So it's a culmination of, essentially, it's Max versus Jamel. The two hosts go up against each other, two baseball teams. We'll represent a classic baseball team ourselves as well. It's all about competition. We're going up against each other. We'll have teammates. We will explore baseball teams as we go and the nuances of the game. But really, it's just about having a good time. And the fact that this is such a festival type atmosphere on the 9th of July, it'll be so much fun to be a part of. I don't know if you guys were following the game 5 years ago when they had an event called Battlegrounds in London. It was essentially a home run derby, and we had people like Sean Green, who was on that Dodgers team when I went there in 2004. Carlos Pena was here. So it's essentially the same thing. Former pros come over, and we're a part of it, and I can't wait. So that's coming up soon.
So you're gonna compete against Nick Swisher?
I'm not competing against Nick Swisher. I will be. I can't wait to meet Nick Swisher and speak to him because he seems like a lot of fun. Have you guys done anything with him before?
Yeah. I just have a question for him that you can ask him and tell him if he thinks the best thing he did in all his career was one, leaving the Yankees, and two, and two, be an actor on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh well,
you know he made an episode.
Yeah, that's his career like peak right there. Yeah. I mean, how good is that? My favorite baseball former player in a show was Mike Piazza on Baywatch. Like the fact that Baywatch is like Pamela Anderson running down the beach in slow motion, and you had Mike Piazza in a Dodgers uniform and a baseball bat. Who goes to the beach in full uni?
Like Guillaume is gonna tell you a story about.
Well,
but it was our first episode. The first episode of our podcast Coup Sur 2 years ago. One of the theme was about Mike Piazza, and we said that the best thing he did in his career was to go save Pamela Anderson on the Baywatch.
What a man!
It was good. So you're gonna do this. Are you still gonna do the videos, the recaps, the little things you make on social media about the games or not?
Oh, quick pitch. No, I don't think I'm doing that this year. So we would typically recap the week. But I think because essentially you can carry MLB have so many highlights, don't they? It's quite hard to I guess to create a gap with highlights because obviously hardcore fans in Europe will stay up late and watch games, but you can also watch a recap the next morning. So I think we found it difficult to navigate storylines, but hopefully we'll have some sort of recap work this year. But until we get to the postseason, I would say that just look out for our series content.
I have one thing to tell you. I mean, I thought that Bases Covered was really great because it was fun. It was introducing baseball to other people that don't know about it and showing that it was a real sport. It was fun, but it was a real sport. But there are two things. The first one, you realized one of my dreams because I was always wondering how would a cricket player just do in a baseball. And I saw what you did with Evans, and it was so great. I mean, I was having so much fun. I think it destroyed everything. It was really the best on all the guests that you had. And the second thing is that I was really, really sad because when you made the episode where you have the game with the All-Stars versus the London Mets, at the end, you have poured champagne all over the place, and nobody drank anything. And I was thinking, oh, that's a waste. That's a waste.
You know, Max wouldn't have do that if it was a cup of tea, because in England, two things you can touch: it's the Queen and the tea. So he made it with champagne. It's not a problem. Another racist thing, but it's okay.
Imagine pouring hot tea on the winner. That's a couple stories from that, and thank you so much for your comments. I mean, it means a lot to hear that, because we forget sometimes filming this in London a lot of the time that it's going out to not just a global base but Europe, right? I mean, the US, our first two series were Europe, and then the last two have been the US as well. But I think sometimes we forget that it's not just the UK that's going out to, and it's really nice to hear that people are watching it and enjoying it, because it is sometimes hard to get across that we're not taking the game too seriously. And I think hardcore fans can sometimes think, well, this content isn't really for me because I'm not learning about baseball. But we're trying to say to people that this content can live alongside your hardcore Fox, ESPN, The Athletic, MLB.com, all of that. You can enjoy this too. Laurie Evans, on the subject of the cricket episode, he was so much fun. And when I saw that the skill challenge for when he had to play cricket with a baseball bat, I thought there's no way he's going to do that. I can bowl him out because the baseball bat is quite thin, right?
Yeah.
Compared to a cricket bat. And he was so good. I could not believe how good he was. And he loved it.
What was funny is that what he said, "Oh, I could do this with a toothpick," and I said, "Oh man, are you joking?" And then I saw him with the bat, and I was, "Oh my God, he's doing it!" It was a little bit more difficult when he had just to bat the right way, but when he had to bat just the cricket way, oh my God, it was just so funny.
It's crazy, right? His normal stance, he can play baseball like that, but he can't bring it. I didn't have much help though, did I? Because Jamal can't really bowl, so I had...
We're gonna talk about Jamal 1-5.
He cannot bowl and he cannot really bat neither. I say.
We're gonna talk about it, but just to return on one point, it's really important what you say, because I think hardcore fans too can understand that following baseball can't be that much serious. I mean, when you look at a game, 90% of the time they are not talking about the game. When they're broadcasting, they're talking about everything else. I mean, one of the media that has the most success right now is Talking Baseball, and man, what they do is always shit. I mean, they assume it. I mean, they came to the show with a Hawaiian, comment on dit chemise?
Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian shirts. They play wiffle ball. I mean, we throw a ploof. They made tournaments. It's incredible. That's what baseball is all about. It's a real sport. It's important. It's whatever you can do, but it's fun. It's just a game. So that's why you're here. Because if you were too serious, you cannot be talking with us, because we are not.
No, that's not true. If you want to be serious, we can be serious. Okay, I'm listening to you.
Okay. No, you are creepy right now. You are not serious.
Creepy and serious. I like creepy journalist.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the thing. We're trying to, even with our guests, particularly that first series when it finished with the All-Star game, we have people on who have big followers, big audiences on social media, but they don't know the game. They don't know what baseball is. They might wear an LA hat or a Yankees hat, but we're trying to sell them on baseball too. It's not just the audience. We want the guests to enjoy and embrace the sport too. So our goal is to ask different questions, come up with games that are related to baseball, but aren't about RBIs and WAR. It's about nachos and how fast you can eat them and how to make a baseball bat out of a toilet roll. I don't know, anything like that.
But what was the story behind Bases Covered? I mean, is Jamal one of your friends from a long time, or are you co-host, or how was it? How did it start?
So Jamal is now a really good friend, but we had never met prior to this. So the production company that work for Major League Baseball Europe and make a lot of their content, they got in touch with myself and Jamal separately, and they said, we're going to make a YouTube baseball show. And when I got that email, I was actually in France. I was working in Paris, and hey, everything good happens in France. There you go. That's I got the email and I read it and I thought, this is great that they want me, but also I'd kind of worked in production on baseball stuff before, and I thought, where is this show going to go, and is it going to be successful? What's it going to look like, and will I be right for it? So they put me and Jamal in the same room. We recorded a pilot show, and we just got on straight away. And obviously, COVID was a curveball, pun intended. We went to spring training actually in February 2020. So we got to go and meet some players. We met Ian Happ, David Bochy on the Cubs. We went to Arizona and Miami. So Jamal, as a real baseball newbie, he got to take that in and enjoy the baseball environment before lockdown started. So that was really good for our friendship and our chemistry. And then we kind of sat down with the team and said, right, what are we going to do? What are we going to do now that we can't film anything apart from at home? So Jamal and me just been on a journey, and it's been fun. And he came to my 30th birthday in March. So we are that close. we're friends now.
Oh, 30th birthday. You're very young. I mean, I'm so happy for you.
There's no
Okay.
way. Did you say you're 40? There's no way you're 40.
No, I'm not 40. I'm 47 this year.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I can show you my ID.
You're
I'll be-
47 this year.
I'll
Yes,
be
that's
47.
The light is cheating with his face.
Yeah, I'm cheating with the light. I don't put too much light. So.
The beret and everything. That's what it's
Man.
cheating.
That
It's
French
champagne.
diet works.
It's
Yeah.
champagne. It keeps me young. And I won't show you my body because you will be
You're-
jealous, but it keeps me very
young
young.
and drunk. So we've talked about you and the season. What I can propose you, Max, it's to head to the last part of the show where the part where we are less serious.
Less serious.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean,
It's possible.
we can do that. So we're gonna start because Thomas here is gonna launch the jingle, the I don't know how we say that, for the Bruce Bochy show. Look.
Nice.
Bruce Bochy.
I like that.
What a nice moustache. Okay,
Bruce
we don't
Bochy.
see anything because there's the light. It's so,
Bruce
it's so
Bochy.
bad.
Hey, look.
Bruce
That is-
He's
Bochy.
a saint. He's a saint.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that
Bochy.
anymore.
No.
So now, because Thomas is not talking to you, we don't know if we are live again or if this is the music. That's how we are good. Thomas, what should we do?
All is good. All is good.
All is good means we can talk because we are
Yes.
live.
Alex
Okay.
is there.
Thank you for your incredible English. So, like you see, Max, that's why Thomas doesn't have the mic on every time because we can kick him. That's why we love him.
Poor Thomas. Thomas
Yeah.
is like the bat boy. He just gets all the abuse.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
it. That's
exactly.
it. And he's free.
I was gonna ask. They gotta be paying you for this amount of abuse, surely.
So
No.
we're gonna explain to you what is the Bruce Bochy show. Bruce Bochy was supposed, and so far so good, is still the manager of the French national team.
No, it's Keino Perez.
Yeah, I know. But
But so far so good. So far
yeah,
so good.
so far
He's
so
still-
good. Yeah,
he's
let me
still-
live my dream, okay? So he was supposed to be the manager of the French national team. Do you know the story about it or not?
I did not know this. Tell me.
So 2020, Bruce Bochy is the manager of the French national team who's making the qualifier for the World Baseball Classic in Florida, Guillaume?
in Arizona.
Arizona. So February 2020, it came a little things called COVID. So no qualifier. So
nothing.
no Bruce Bochy because he never came to France because he was about to came last year just
Right.
before the
Last summer.
European Cup last summer, but because of the COVID and because he's not he's quite the age of Guillaume, he can take risks with the COVID, so he stayed in the US, and so Bruce Bochy never became the manager. So, but since the beginning of the podcast, we made a promise to our fans: we're gonna have Bruce Bochy in the show.
On the show.
Okay, on the show. So what we ask to every guest we have is
Every guest.
Every guest. You're
every-
the second one.
no on the YouTube show.
No, on the
But
YouTube show, you're the
podcast,
second one.
we made the same thing. What can you do to help us have Bruce Bochy on the show?
Oh
You
wow.
must understand one thing. We don't value the result because we don't have any result on what we do. We value the initiative. Okay, so
So you don't want to get him. You just want to try and get him. That's the initiative.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. That's the red. That's exactly.
because if we have him, what are we gonna say
You're
after?
done. Well, you're going to retire. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, how do you think you can help us get Bruce Bochy on the show?
You know what? At the start of the show, you asked me, what am I doing this year for baseball? And I told you about the series. I feel like one of my New Year's resolutions as of, what day is it? April something? April 8th?
April 8th.
I want to get Bochy on the show before the World Series. And obviously, 6 degrees of separation, guys. I've got contacts who have contacts who have contacts who know Bruce. Like,
we do also. We do also.
I can do it. I can speak to people. That's what I would say. I'm a Dodgers fan, but
can I just we make a small game. How many contacts before you reach Bruce Bochy you have?
Hey,
Make the chain.
Yeah, make the chain.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you, we are top level. We have one contact before Bruce Bochy.
What? One
Contact before Bruce Bochy.
So
he doesn't want to help us because he knows he knows we're crap.
And he is the godfather of the show, of the media. Okay, it's the official photographer of the French national team.
Nice.
Okay, and is one of the, if not the one, that made it possible that Bruce Bochy came to become the French manager. Okay,
you don't need any help.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. No, we don't need any help, but we love to ask the question, how can you help us?
Yes, because we don't need any help, but this man who can help us is too smart. So he won't help us because he knows the troubles.
Yeah, he doesn't want to ask the question because it's like, you don't want to ask too much. But I could go a little incognito. I am in California in May, so I mean, I feel like Bruce would still live in San Francisco, or do you think he's retired to Florida maybe? I don't know.
No, I think he's in San Francisco still.
What? I don't know. I feel like they retire at some point to, hey, listen.
Because he was interviewed by San Francisco Chronicle a few months ago, so I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Okay, so I can speak to people on the streets of LA maybe, and we'll go from there.
You can do that, but you must film it.
Okay. How about I ask my plan A, who I'm taking with me? I'll be like, hey, do you know anyone who knows Bruce? And yeah, I'll film that for you. Don't worry.
Okay. We'll do it. We agree. It's a great plan. You know, you see, we value initiative. Okay.
We have a second thing to ask you is, are you going to invite us to London to the Home Run Derby X Games, X Factor, X Men?
Before I answer that, that was the biggest mug I've ever seen in my life. It's bigger than your head.
He has a small head. He's very small.
Wow. Hey, if you can get it.
You know, for me, it's a swimming pool. I can jump on it.
Nice. Hey, if you get over here, I'll make sure I look after you. You can stay here at my place. We can watch baseball. We can go out. Let's go out. Let's do that. But if you come to the day, it'd be so much fun because we've obviously got friends and family coming down. And once we finish filming, I'm sure we can get you behind the scenes and you can speak to your friend Nick Swisher, of course. And maybe via Nick Swisher, we get Bruce Bochy. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Just one thing I have to tell you, because I know Guillaume a long time ago. Okay, so I know his question was not, "Will you invite us?"
Will you get us a ticket?
Yeah. His question was, "Will you pay for us?" Because I know him, and he's a cheap motherfucker.
Well. You want flights? You want hotels? Everything.
If you can, I'll take it.
I mean, Thomas looks like he's got money. He can get you on. He can get you on the Eurostar.
Definitely loaded. I mean,
where are you guys? You guys are paying him enough. He can pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm sure of it. He's paying us to work with us because he loves to be beat.
And last thing, because before we finish, when we'll meet, I can ask you. I would like you to challenge you and your friend, you and Jamal, against Mike and I. I mean, I don't know which challenge, something around baseball. We will think about it, but I'm sure I want to challenge you to a game around baseball, just like you did in the first. Let's do it.
As long as it's not general knowledge, I'll do it.
No, it's not general. I have no knowledge on baseball.
We don't know. We're just talking. We don't know anything about baseball.
Yeah, same. Hey, if I've got Jamel, maybe something weight based or athlete, something we can do a bench press. Are you guys coming? Are you guys coming? I can't get you a flight, but are you coming?
We don't know yet.
We have to think about it, but we might.
Hey, the offer stands. You can stay here, so you don't have to get a hotel. You can stay here, so that helps a little bit, right?
All right.
That helps a lot. Even more when you see the prices in London. But it's another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gonna end with our tradition, Max. It's a tradition. It's called the bullshit time. And the bullshit time is we're gonna talk about baseball, but mostly saying bullshit. That's what we do. So we're gonna have each it's gonna be one time Guillaume and one time me. We're gonna have some questions about baseball and what you do about baseball. First of all, tell us because you said just beautiful things about Jamel and his strengths and everything. What's the thing that bothers you the most with Jamel?
Oh.
Yeah, we are troublemakers. That's what we do.
I could. Oh my gosh.
He's not at the show, right?
It's funny. I will answer the question, but one of the things, it doesn't bother me, but it was so funny during our third series. Laura Woods is a TV presenter for Sky here, and Jamel likes to put Vaseline on his entire body, like everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Yeah.
I've got the image now. It's the best story of all.
Keep on going. Keep going.
Hey,
Keep going.
You gotta understand, we made almost 170 episodes with everything we did. Okay, it's the best story we've heard.
That's it.
Yeah, we didn't need the rest.
Yeah, make it that what you will. Like I've duped him there. That sounds like a filthy story. All I was gonna say was he put Vaseline on his knees before we started filming, and Laura, one of our guests, was basically digging him out for that and saying, Jamel, come on, you can't go at me when you're a guy who Vaselines his knees. So I know I probably put something completely different in your head, but I was talking about his knees.
No problem. It was I was having the image of Jamel just putting Vaseline all over his body.
Yeah. And he makes whatever he wants with his knees. Huh? We are not here to judge it. I mean,
he's got great knees. And
okay.
To answer your question, he's on his phone a lot. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is he watching YouTube videos of men putting Vaselines on them?
Yeah. It's Vaseline tutorials and then his Tinder videos. That's the two. Yeah.
Okay. I still have another question about Jamel. What do you think is worse at, pitching or batting?
Oh.
Because he's crap at both of them, but.
Or he's better on the bench.
This has become anti-Jamel now.
No, that's not anti-Jamel. I mean, no. I would have liked to meet him because I think he's. I mean, you guys are so funny when you make you make your show. I think that we would have had a great time, just the four of us on the show, just telling bullshits and everything. But
I know you're only having fun. I would say he's worse at pitching. Like he goes. I think we did a mini series last year, and it was for an app, and he started pitching underarm, which is just not allowed. Come on, it's baseball. Come on, yeah.
And was your best hit the one you made just behind with the tennis player?
Oh yeah, man, you got a good memory. You might be Bases Covered's biggest fan. I appreciate that.
Come on,
No,
come on.
I watched them just 2 hours ago. So
Just
that's
now, yeah.
Guillaume has a shitty memory. He just looked at it this afternoon. I'm pretty sure of it because
Research.
you gotta understand on the show, and I'm gonna give you another insider. We make the pre-show, okay? So we are saying, so you gotta say that, and that. The show starts. He forgets everything, and and it's always like that. Everybody knows him for that. But okay, so I don't have any more questions, Max. I'm just gonna thank you a lot to be here with us because I mean I don't know. You didn't have to accept that. You didn't know us. We are mostly
we are French.
nobodies.
We are French.
We are French, arrogant, and a little bit of racist because that's about that we are French. Huh?
Because we're French.
Because we are French. So when we don't know anything about baseball, it was a lot of fun for us. I hope you had a great time with us, and we're gonna try to go to London, Guillaume. That's what we said to every club in France for 2 years. Right now.
No, guys, you're absolutely welcome, and it was my pleasure. Honestly, it's so nice to see a fun baseball show, and it's just nice to see what people around Europe are doing. The fact that you guys love the game, it's clear that you love the game. You have fun with it, and you're very lighthearted. But I know that you both love baseball, so I hope we can meet in July, and I hope we can get Brian on the show. And thank you for watching the series as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we're gonna end this show. We said one show a month. So if we keep up to the schedule, we're gonna be here in July. But don't forget and excuse us for the shitty English we're trying to learn by this show. You can find us on our YouTube channel. You can find us on every podcast app. Once a week we made this show about baseball in French. It's called Coup Sur. So thank you to everybody. You can follow us on the social media where we write a lot of bullshit too. We can say and write bullshit about baseball. Thanks everybody. Thanks Max. Thanks Thomas. Thanks Guillaume. See you soon. See you later.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.